It's 2 a.m. You're exhausted. You know you should sleep, but something in you just won't. And it's not insomnia. You're not anxious. You're not even doing anything that important. You're scrolling, watching something you've already seen, thinking about a conversation from 3 days ago. Just existing in this strange, quiet pocket of time that belongs entirely to you. And here's the thing nobody tells you. That's not laziness. That's not bad discipline. That's psychology. And by the end of this, you're going to understand something about yourself that most people never figure out. Let's paint the picture. It's a Tuesday. You had a full day. Work, conversations, obligations, the performance of being a functioning human being in front of other people. By 9 p.m., your body is done. By 10 p.m., your eyes are heavy. And yet 11 p.m. comes, then midnight, then 1, and there you are, more awake than you were at noon, finally feeling like yourself for the first time all day. Your alarm is going to be cruel. You know this. You're doing the math right now. If I sleep in the next 20 minutes, I get 5.5 hours. You know you're going to be wrecked tomorrow, and you stay up anyway. Why does that happen? Why do intelligent, self-aware people repeatedly choose something that they know makes them feel worse? The answer will change how you see yourself. There's a term in psychology called revenge bedtime procrastination. And the moment most people hear it, something clicks. It was named by a researcher studying work culture in China, but it spread globally because it describes something almost everyone in the modern world quietly feels. The sense that the day was never really yours. Think about it. From the moment you woke up, time belonged to something else. Your job, your responsibilities, other people's needs, other people's moods, the version of you that has to show up, perform, answer, deliver. And somewhere in the back of your mind, a quiet rebellion brews all day long. Staying up late is how you take it back. It's not irrational. It's actually a completely logical response to feeling like you have no control over your own life. Your brain knows, consciously or not, that this is the only window where nothing is being asked of you. No one needs a reply. No one is watching. Nothing is due. And your nervous system, which has been on low-grade alert since the moment you opened your eyes, finally exhales. You're not avoiding sleep. You're protecting the one part of the day that feels like freedom. But here's where it gets more interesting. Because not everyone does this. Some people have no problem switching off at 10 o'clock, closing their eyes, and disappearing into sleep like it's nothing. And if you've ever watched someone do that, just fall asleep the moment their head hits the pillow, you've probably felt something close to envy. Why can't you do that? Because your brain isn't wired the same way theirs is. And I don't mean that as a flaw. Research has shown that people who struggle to disengage at night tend to score higher on measures of emotional reactivity and cognitive rumination, which is just a clinical way of saying your brain is still processing, still turning things over, still finishing conversations in your head that ended hours ago, still sitting with the feeling of that one moment in the afternoon that nobody else even noticed. You don't just move through a day, you absorb it. Every interaction leaves a residue, and sleep requires a kind of mental clearing that takes longer for some minds than others. The people who fall asleep easily, they processed and released as they went. You carry it all with you until the quiet finally gives you space to sort through it. That's not weakness. That's a different kind of depth. And then there's identity. This part hits differently. During the day, most of us are living out roles. Employee, parent, partner, friend. The responsible one, the capable one, the one who holds it together. And those roles aren't fake, but they're not the whole you. They're the version of you that the world needs. And somewhere under all of that, the real you, the one with strange thoughts and half-finished creative ideas and feelings you can't explain to anyone, is waiting. Late at night, the roles dissolve. You're not anyone's anything at 1 a.m. You're just you. And for people who spend a lot of their day being what other people need them to be, that feeling is more than comfort. It's survival. This is why so many creative people are night owls. Writers, artists, musicians, People who think in ways that don't always fit neatly into the structure of a normal workday. It's not that night is more inspiring. It's that the noise finally stops. The expectations fall away. And the parts of yourself you had to keep quiet all day are finally allowed to breathe. You stay up late because somewhere you learned that the night is safe in a way the day isn't. Now let's go somewhere deeper, because some of this starts earlier than you think. If you grew up in an environment that was emotionally unpredictable, a parent whose mood you could never quite read, a household where tension came and went without explanation, a childhood where you learned to stay small or stay quiet, then your nervous system learns something important very early. Stillness is not always safe. Quiet can mean something is wrong, and so even now as an adult, in a home where nothing is actually threatening, a part of your brain still doesn't fully trust the silence of sleep. Because sleep requires surrender. It requires letting go of awareness. And for someone who spent years using awareness as a form of protection, that's not a simple thing. Late nights feel safer than sleep because you're still conscious, still in control, still watching. You're not an insomniac. You're someone whose nervous system still remembers what it felt like to need to stay alert. And it hasn't gotten the message yet that you're okay now. That particular realization tends to sit with people for a long time. There's also something happening in your brain chemically that makes this harder than people realize. Cortisol, the hormone most associated with stress, has a complex rhythm. And in people who experience chronic low-level stress, which is most of us living modern lives, cortisol doesn't always drop at night the way it's supposed to. Instead, there's often a second wind, a strange alertness that arrives right around the time you should be winding down. Your body isn't confused. It's responding to a life that never really pauses. And here's the contradiction that makes this almost poetic. The more tired you are, sometimes the harder it is to sleep. Because exhaustion without decompression is just loading. And your mind is trying to process the weight of a day that never gave it space to breathe. So you scroll, you watch, you drift through late-night rabbit holes that have no destination. Not because you're entertained, because you're finally decompressing. Slowly, quietly, imperfectly. Here's what no one in your life is probably saying to you. The fact that you struggle to switch off isn't a character flaw. It's a signal. It's your mind telling you that somewhere in the structure of your daily life, something isn't being met. Some need for solitude, for autonomy, for genuine rest, not just sleep, but rest, is going unfilled. Most productivity culture will tell you to fix your sleep hygiene. Set a schedule, no screens after 9, blue light glasses. And sure, some of that helps. But none of it addresses the real thing, which is that you're not staying up because you lack discipline. You're staying up because the night is the only place that actually listens to you. And maybe the question isn't how to go to sleep earlier. Maybe the question is, what would it take for your days to feel like they belong to you, even a little? Because here's the truth that takes a while to fully land. You are not broken for needing silence. You are not weak for needing time that has no agenda. You are not undisciplined for protecting the only hours that feel genuinely, quietly yours. You are someone who feels the full weight of being alive. And that weight is real, and it is heavy, and it deserves more than 5 minutes before bed to be set down. The night isn't your enemy. The night is the part of you that refuses to disappear. And maybe, just maybe, the most important thing you can do isn't to fight it. Maybe it's to finally ask what it's trying to protect. If this hits somewhere close to home, there's something else worth watching, about why people who feel everything deeply often end up exhausted in ways they can't explain to anyone. It goes further into what we touched on today. The link is right there. You already know if you need it.